Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got the 5th sneak peek for the upcoming May update. And it's not actually a sneak peek at first until you do a little bit of digging, or if you just spend a lot of time on a particular website. So let's check it out first. Greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment. The next stage takes place in space. The next update. Our hero's fight to protect the peace is about to begin. Check the new information and prepare for the battle, and you get this little video here. Our agents should be well informed to achieve victory. Stay tuned for as much information is heading your way. Okay, cool. So what information is heading our way? Well, you go over to YouTube and you watch that video, and let's check this out. So this is not actually a sneak peek, right? You're like, Cynicalex, I've seen this. This is just sneak peek 1, 2, 3, and 4, all stitched together. But you have to admit, this is a really cool graphic. And then you have to admit that this is the best update sneak peeks we've ever gotten. So we have reached, for now, we've reached the pinnacle of Marvel Future Fight sneak peek. So I know I've said it a lot recently, but it never gets old because it's always so true. Sneak peek team, we love you. Also, sneak peek team, could you please kidnap and move away the other team that makes Marvel Future Fight and then just take over for them? Yeah, you know, it sounds weird when I say it, but my heart's in the right place. Anywho, you get a full picture of all of the characters here. We've got, of course, Richard Rider, Phyla-Vell. We've got Stormbreaker that Beta Ray Bill is chasing, looking really nice with the rendering. We got Darkhawk, Gladiator, Star-Lord. And then we have Cosmic, Ghost Rider down there, and it's more sort of in focus. Now, this is really cool, but again, this is not a sneak peek, Cynicalex. What are you talking about? Are you clickbaiting us? Is this a clickbait video? No, it's not. I lied. I mean, I lied about it. I lied. It's not a clickbait video, so I didn't lie. So here is, first of all, here is the key art looking as beautiful as ever. Again, I feel, you know, we go through this every month, right? The sneak peek team is godly. The key art team or the key art artist is godly, but then you get to the update and you're like, wah, wah. I mean, the updates are not terrible, right? Marvel Future Fight's a good game, right? Even if it's, you know, shallow and easy and the rewards are whack, it's still a good game. It's just not challenging and fulfilling long term and worthy of spending multiple years and thousands of dollars on. You know, unless you're just into a Barbie collection. So anyways, Barbie collections aside, this is still not a sneak peek. As beautiful as this looks, it's not a sneak peek. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, does Cosmic Ghost Rider look like an absolute badass. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So, what's the sneak peek? Well, here we go. Marvel.com, Marvel Games Comic Connection, the all-new Guardians of the Galaxy. And this is written by my father, my dad, Bill Rosemann. Not actually my dad, by the way. And so this is, you know, to shorten it and give you just a brief synopsis, I think this is Marvel's way of starting to connect certain updates to content that's Marvel themed, but not MCU themed. So I think they're sort of embracing the comics more, and especially for Marvel Future Fight, it's really important for them to do that because it's really cool. I think Marvel Future Fight executes comic-related updates really well, at least as far as the aesthetics go, the artwork, and the character models and things like that. And it's just really good for Marvel to expand and to grow their brand that way because you have a whole new generation of kids growing up playing video games right away, right? They all own cell phones. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone until university, but these kids now, they're 8, 9 years old running around with cell phones. They're going to play cell phone games. They can get into Marvel and they can be like, wow, this Marvel Future Fight update is so good. Oh, you're saying that this update is based on a comic? Oh, wow. And then they go and read the comics. So yeah, we get it. So anywho, what's the sneak peek here? Where's the surprise? So here we go. This is from the words of Bill Rosemann. So this is 100% accurate, by the way. Bill Rosemann is the executive producer for Marvel Games, or he's like he's a really important person at Marvel Games, which is the games division of Marvel. Okay. So he's got his hands in every Marvel game, from the console games like Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 to the mobile games. So he says here, the star-studded lineup for this update includes new characters. So he confirms they are new characters. Beta Ray Bill, Nova, Richard Rider, Dick Rider, Darkhawk, Phyla-Vell, and Gladiator. 5 new characters. And the reason why I know that these are characters is because he then goes on to further specify new suits, aka costumes, aka skins, because we know we love to put on new skin, right? I always wake up in the morning ready to put on some new skin. For Star-Lord, we know that one there, and Punisher as the fearsome cosmic Ghost Rider. So now we have unequivocal 100% proof that Frank Castle is going to be getting a massive universal uniform rework as the cosmic Ghost Rider. So that's dope. I'm so happy for Punisher and Punisher fans. He will finally get some form of justice. But that's not all. Oh, no, that's not all. If you have the patience and you have the interest, and you should, to read through all of this, and Bill Rosemann does an excellent job of suggesting a ton of great comic runs. I read this. It's amazing. Donny Cates, again. You got to read it. You really got to read it. And then this, we know this one from all the sneak peeks and stuff. You scroll down to the bottom, and then here we go. So there you have it, a personally guided tour through the modern era of Marvel's most cosmic comics. I hope you give these books a read, and you really should. He's not wrong. Enjoy playing the brand new, here we go, Guardians of the Galaxy Epic Quest in Marvel Future Fight. Then join us here next time for another illuminating edition of Marvel Games Comic Connection. I think this is a really good little like corner thing for him to do. Marvel Games Comic Connection. I think they should continue to do this. Awesome idea there, Bill. Have fun, Frantic Ones, and then tune into the Marvel Future Fight Facebook page to watch the live stream, which is today in the evening. So we now have confirmation. We are getting 5 new characters, 2 new uniforms at least, and we are getting a brand new epic quest. So that's pretty insane. Now, for those of you who say that 5 characters is not enough for an epic quest, might I remind you, the Deadpool epic quest only features 5 new characters. If you take a look here, Deadpool was a new character, Strife was a new character, Domino was a new character, Psylocke was a new character, and Phantom X was a new character. That's it. Cable had been introduced in 2017, a year before, and maybe 3 or 4 months earlier, and I believe in March of 2018, we got Colossus with Emma Frost and Angel as part of one of the first X-Men expansion updates. So it's absolutely 100% possible that we will be seeing something like this. As far as who is going to be the sort of character of the epic quest, like Deadpool, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, and Mr. Fantastic, your guess is as good as mine. My guess would have to be Beta Ray Bill. The reason why I would guess Beta Ray Bill is because his is the Stormbreaker that comes through the portal. Making Cosmic Ghost Rider the character of the update wouldn't make sense because it's actually Punisher, right? So they want you to rank up this character, and they're going to rank it up for you. They wouldn't choose Punisher. They wouldn't choose Star-Lord either because, again, we already have Star-Lord in the game. So they have to choose a new character because that's how the epic quest goes. Now, if they go in a completely different direction for the epic quest and they create something brand new that they've never done before, I'm actually really excited for that. But I'm not expecting Marvel Future Fight to do that because they have been historically extremely, safe. They play it very safe. They play it a little boring. They copy and paste a lot. So all 4 of the epic quests are copies and pastes of each other. The only difference being that the Doctor Strange one doesn't have the deluxe pack native tier 2 character. And then, of course, the X-Men one has fewer characters. It goes 5, 6. And then, of course, for the Fantastic Four, I believe it goes up to 7 or 8. Yeah, it goes up to 7. So we may be seeing 7. We may be seeing 8. We may be seeing 6. But it totally makes sense for a 5-character epic quest to exist. If you look here, if we put Beta Ray Bill in the first position, and then we put, let's say, Phyla-Vell where Domino should be, we put Nova, Richard Rider as the deluxe pack character, and then you choose another character that already exists in the game, like, let's say, Drax or Groot or something like that from the Guardians of the Galaxy to sort of connect to it, and then you put Darkhawk where Phantom X should be, and then you put someone else where Colossus should be, and then the character up at the top would be Gladiator. That's one example of how they could do it. Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Star-Lord don't necessarily have to play any role in the epic quest. Now, that being said, I will say this. I do believe, or I do think that the epic quests in Marvel Future Fight are boring. I think they're boring, I think they're fun for about 3 days. They're boring after those 3 days because you can get through the content that quickly if you are a veteran and if you sort of just rush through it. And on top of that, the epic quests are really just a series of, like, it's basically just another heroic quest, right? It's telling you what to do in things that are already in the game. There's not a lot of new content in the epic quests, there is a lot of like story and dialogue, which is interesting, and it's fun for a comic fan to go through. And epic quests are, you know, still very good content in Marvel Future Fight, but going through 4 of them and now having to going through a 5th one, you really start to understand, you know, like it's very just like paint by numbers, right? One quest is like, hey, go and do 10 dimension missions. Okay, you did 10 dimension missions. Check, you know, send in that quest, right? Check it off. Okay, I completed it. All right, what's the next quest? Okay, go and do 1 timeline battle. Okay, we did 1 timeline battle. Go back, you know, complete the quest. Send it in. Okay, you've done that. Now go and collect your dimension mission acquisition rewards. Okay, cool. And it's very like A, B, A, B, A, B. It's really very simplistic, and I just really wish that they've had 3 years roughly to, you know, improve and try and find some new creative ground for these epic quests. But all they've learned how to do for these epic quests is slightly tweak the rewards, which is nice, and then add more characters for us to farm to make this more expensive. That's basically all they've done, right? If you think about it, the epic quest, besides the dialogue, besides the unique dialogue, the epic quests are exactly the same. They're just a copy and paste, and then they change around some of the requirements for the research missions, and they've made them more RNG focused and more annoying because you have to play a mission X number of times. You don't know how many times, but you have to find some bizarre item, and the item has an unknown drop rate, so you could have to run the mission 10 times or 100 times. So I really wish that they would do something new for the epic quest. I gave an example on my live stream if you're wondering what a really cool epic quest in a mobile game looks like. I gave the example of the King of Fighters epic quests. They're very, very fun, and they take a long time to finish. And I think that is the real key here. An epic quest should last a month. It should last maybe 2 months. I'm not sure why. You know, if they're only going to release an epic quest every year or year and a half, why do they make them so short, right? Like, they should purposely make them longer because they're supposed to be epic. You know, it takes longer to complete a heroic quest than it does to complete an epic quest. Think about that. It makes no sense, right? So yeah, as far as like what King of Fighters does, King of Fighters All-Star, that makes their epic quest so good is they basically design a series of boss battles that are self-contained within chapters. So you have, let's say, 5 chapters. Let's say the first chapter would be against you know, someone else, some enemy of the Fantastic Four. It doesn't matter who it is. It could even be, you know, fighting against Thing, and he's being mind controlled. And then the second chapter is against Invisible Woman. The third chapter is against Human Torch. The fourth chapter is against Victorious. And then the 5th chapter is against Doctor Doom. And within those chapters, with those bosses at the end of each chapter, you have other missions. So Mr. Fantastic will go through like 6 or 7 different stages, completing different things, doing, you know, beating those little minions, whatever. And then on the last stage, he'll fight a mind-controlled version of his wife, a mind-controlled version of Ben Grimm, a mind-controlled version of Human Torch, and then Victorious and Doctor Doom. And then what makes them interesting and what makes them take a lot longer is that not only do the fights and the chapters get progressively harder and more difficult, but it's all much more difficult than normal content in the game because they want you to grind what are called epic quest buffs. So basically, there's specific buffs that you only have access to in the epic quest, and the buffs are for attack, defense, and HP. And then the more you play any stage on the epic quest, the more you get buffs for your attack, defense, and HP that will help you throughout the epic quest. For those of you that have been playing Marvel Future Fight for a long time, these are sort of like the world boss buff effects that we used to have for the old world boss. Basically, when 10,000 players would kill one world boss, they would give the entire server a buff of like whatever, 10% dodge or 10% attack or something like that. And it would rotate the buff, and the boss that you had to kill would rotate every single day. So, you know, this boss was 10% dodge. I believe Proxima was 10% attack. I think he was like 10% HP or something like that, and it would rotate. So that it's sort of like that, except the buffs are self-contained to only count towards the epic quest that you're in. And so that creates a situation where veterans can get further in the epic quest sooner, but even if I'm a veteran, I'm gonna have to grind some of those levels to get some of the attack, defense, and HP buffs in order to complete, you know, chapter 4 and chapter 5. Newer players are going to have to grind a lot more than veteran players, but with enough grinding, they will be able to do it. And then the really interesting thing about it is you can go back and replay those bosses way later with weaker characters once you have insane buffs, right? So you start off with like a 0% attack buff, but what happens when you roll up with a 50% attack, 50% HP and 50% defense buff. Now your Drax is running through the epic quest like he's tier 3 because he's, smashing everyone's face in because he has these huge buffs. So that is the idea for a really fun, elongated epic quest that actually feels epic. Unfortunately, that's probably not what we're going to get because it's Marvel Future Fight and they do Control C and then Control V. But I just thought I would share that to you. I don't talk enough about King of Fighters All-Star, even though I play the game a lot. It is a really well-made game. It's also made by Netmarble, by a different department. And nowadays, it seems like every other Netmarble department is outdoing Netmarble Monster. When we compare games like 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, Marvel Contest of Champions, it's Kabam, but owned by Netmarble, King of Fighters All-Star. Whenever we compare these games to Marvel Future Fight, it always seems like they're doing more things innovative in an innovative way. They're being more creative. They're thinking bigger. They're thinking longer term. Whereas Marvel Future Fight always seems to think, within days or weeks at most for content. Barely weeks, barely like a week. But anywho, I do applaud Marvel Future Fight for planning ahead a double comic book run update in the first 6 months of 2020. I do have to say that as one of my closing sort of ideas. We had, although I feel like they really ruined the spirit of the X-Men House of X update because it was way too greedy, we did have the House of X update, and we are now getting this cosmic Guardians of the Galaxy Donny Cates Cosmic Ghost Rider update. So as far as comic book fans are concerned, this is your, not Twilight, but this is your moment to shine because we've gotten more comic book, straight from the pages comic book updates in 2020 than we've had for like the last 2 years in a row. Is it a product of not having MCU movies to milk? Maybe, but maybe at least they're listening in some small way to what we're asking for. Anyways, let me know what you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy Epic Quest update. Let me remind you before I go that the Facebook live stream is tonight. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. I start my stream 1 hour earlier than that at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You're more than welcome to watch on Facebook and get the rewards, but you can also watch with us on Twitch. You could probably do both at the same time. Wink, wink. And we were gonna have a lot of really fun times there. We're gonna have extra commentary. We're gonna have laughs. We're gonna have the chat, rolling, and then of course the 40 crystal coupons for 300 crystals each. I'll be giving all of those away shortly after the Facebook live stream. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.